Hey YouTubers, it's Tony here from We Try Anything. Channel likes try anything so you don't have to. In today's video, as you can see from the screen behind me, I thought I'd feature a few watches that I found in the H.Samuel Sale in terms of Casio and G-Shock watches. Now I've picked out about 4 that you can buy that are in stock that are well worth considering, and I've also picked out another 3 that are, unfortunately they're out of stock because they're at such a great price, but you can pop your email on the website and be notified of when they're in stock. Now I'm not affiliated with H.Samuel's, but I thought it's definitely well worth considering what I'm showing you in this video. So why don't we have a closer look at the H.Samuel Casio G-Shock sale. See H.Samuel's website, and you can find it by visiting www.hsamuel.co.uk, and I'm also showing the actual web address on screen, as well as I've linked to it in the description box below. So the first watch to show you is the Casio W-59 digital watch. Now this one I've worn, I've reviewed, I've done tutorial videos on. It is a great watch to have, and it's very much akin to what would be the F91W, but the difference with this one, and why I think it's definitely worth that $18.99 price point, is that you get 50 meters of water resistance. So if you're after a watch which is very easy to use, the display is very simple to follow, and you just after a watch that you want to put on your wrist and it's got a good battery life, then I've got to say this Casio W-59 is well worth considering. And also it's probably the cheapest one I've found on there, because I know the retail price on H.Samuel's is £25. It is the same on Casio, so obviously the RRP is the same as what you would get on a Casio, but here you get it $18.99, and I'd say it's worth every penny of that. I'll quickly show you what it looks like on the wrist, and as you can see here, the gentleman wearing it, it's quite a good looking watch on their wrist. Not far off the size of how it would look on your wrist, but I've got to say, as someone who's worn these sort of sized watches, they're so comfortable and you really don't feel them on your wrist. So lightweight watch, resin with a resin screen, so may get scratched if you do wear it a lot, depending on like the chores that you do, like gardening or construction. It will get scratched, but again, at that price point, you just can't beat it. The next one is a G-Shock, which is the GD100, which is quite, I would say it's quite a big watch, but you do get a lot of obviously the G-Shock features that you would get. So obviously you get the G-Shock protection, you get the mineral glass, and you also get a real nice big display on this watch. And one other thing to mention, you also get what would be water resistance that is up to 200 meters. So it's the usual G-Shock sort of protection and G-Shock sturdiness that you do get with these watches. On the wrist, yeah, it's quite a big watch. I've got to be honest with you, it's not the smallest of watches, but for the price point that you're paying, which is $69.99, I've got to admit I think it's a great watch, and also a very good looking one for a G-Shock, because sometimes G-Shocks tend to be all kind of just full of little design features and stuff that take away from what it does, which is meant to tell you the time. Now I'm just quickly scrolling down to the size just to give you an idea. 55 millimeters, so if you've got a smallish wrist like me, it's going to be quite a big watch on the wrist, so I would suggest that you try it on before you consider buying it. But otherwise, with it featuring world time, stopwatch, countdown time of 5 alarms, and obviously, as I've mentioned, the 200 meters of water resistance, as well as obviously you got the illuminator part, which is a great backlight to it, then yeah, definitely a watch worth considering, and especially with the price point where you're saving about £13 from the recommended retail price. So yeah, a great option and well worth considering. The next one is going to be the one that I really do highlight as a watch worth considering. Now you've got a fair amount of money saved against the recommended retail price at £89, and this is the Casio G-Shock GBD200. Now this one's been out a little while, and it does have what would be like a smartwatch sort of vibe to it, in terms of it will link to your phone via Bluetooth and you can get notifications on it. It will make a track of all the steps that you've done, so you can see how your health is doing, or how you are becoming healthy doing the steps, etc. It doesn't have a built-in heart monitor or anything like that. The other thing positive of this watch is it's got a phenomenal screen on it. It really is a great screen to it, and also it's so legible. It's known as like a memory in pixels, so it's not your usual LCD displays. It is a real sharp screen to it. Also, it's got 200 meters of water resistance, because it's like that kind of G-Shock square design to it, so it's got all the kind of protection of that. Watch face diameter is about 49 millimeters wide, so again, may not suit all wrists, but well worth considering, and definitely for that price point, £89, it's definitely well worth putting on your list of as a watch to get hold of very soon. And what I will say is that I do keep my eye on the eBay sort of prices of these GBD 200s, and for a used one you can get them for that price. So brand new, and also in a very nice stealthy black color with a bit of green highlight in there. I've got to say, it's a great looking watch to have on your wrist as well. So yeah, that's probably my favorite out of what I'm going to mention here. What will be the final one in which you can get, that you can actually order and add to your basket on the H.Samuel Sale, is the Casio Edifice ECB 950 DC. Now this is what would be an analog digital hybrid type watch, and also it's a watch that has Bluetooth connectivity built into it, so it will go off and get the time, so you know you've got an accurate time on your wrist. And also what you'll see next to it is tough solar as well. It's also a real good looking watch with its stainless steel black casing and obviously bracelet. And also I just really do love what would be the watch face. As you can see, it's got a real nice sporty overall feel to it, and also I like the way that the digital elements are just integrated within background to that dial. Real nice, and I've got to admit, it looks a cracking looking watch. It has 100 meters of water resistance, so you could use it in a lot of situations. And also I'm just kind of, yeah, just say it's motor racing inspired finish to it as well. 51 millimeters, so quite a big watch to have on your wrist, but you've got world time and all sorts of other functions that you can have on this watch, and especially at that price point, which is quite a big saving really. How does it look on your wrist? Let's have a look on what it looks like on the model's wrist. So you can see here, yeah, as I've mentioned, quite a big watch to wear, but what a great looking watch on the wrist. Just in terms of these kind of virtual representations of them, it does look great. Yeah, I've got to say, great looking watch. So yeah, definitely well worth considering. Now, some of the next watches I'm going to mention are watches that are out of stock really, but they are worth considering. Maybe popping your email address in there and they can notify you of when these watches are in stock. And this one's the A700 vintage Casio, which is a real nice looking Casio. It is at a good price point, and again, I think I have checked online and it's probably one of the cheapest ones that you can get out there in the UK in terms of brand new watches. Stainless steel bracelet, what would be a resin screen to it or display window. But yeah, really nice, I've got to be honest with you. It does look nice, and it does have that, as it says there, classic understated appeal. Now in terms of sizes, because obviously I've shown all the sizes on here, 37.4, so it should fit a lot of wrists. And yeah, I've got to admit, it is a great looking watch. How will it look on your wrist, or just get an idea just to so you can see how it looks on the wrist? Yeah, good looking watch as well. I've got to admit, I'll probably, if I can get hold of one, I'll definitely feature it on the channel. So yeah, very good, and especially at that price point. If they keep it at that price point when they email it's back in stock, it's definitely well worth considering. Next one, and I wanted to feature this one in this video because it's at a good price, and it was one that had a viral nature to it, in terms of it was a very popular watch for people to get hold of when it first came out, because it had that Tiffany blue background dial to it. Now I'd imagine that's probably why it's out of stock at the minute, but if you can get it at that price point when they are back in stock, definitely well worth considering. So you get a stainless steel strap, you've obviously got the dial there, which is made up of polished metal, and obviously we'll have the loom there, and it's also got a date complication there. And yeah, it's got that lovely Tiffany blue background, and also you got 50 meters of water resistance. How will it look on your wrist, or get an idea of how it looks on your wrist? Yeah, very nice indeed. But again, I would say probably try it on your wrist before you buy it, or just have the idea or have a receipt if it's not for you in terms of how it feels. So, and that's only just because I've seen it on the reviews, but I thought I'd feature it in this video because I thought £32, good price for that watch. And finally, it was one I really wanted to feature in the main list of watches on the H.Samuel Sale, but typically when I was filming this video, it says email when back in stock. I mean, what a price saving that is. That literally is about 150 quid, and what a massively, well, it's just a big watch. I mean, it's got, I think it's a triple sensor watch, so you've got barometer, altitude and a compass built in, and it's their MudMaster series of watches. So obviously it's a very hard wearing, very durable watch that you can wear. So as it says, triple sensor, which makes capable of altitude, barometric pressure, temperature and direction readings at your fingertips. So it's got a lot of features to it, and it's the, as I say, it's mud resistance, low temperature resistance, and it's got tough solar built in. So just a lot to it, plus 200 meters of water resistant. Now the only one thing I will highlight with this watch, quite big, 57mm wide. My god, it's massive. And the length, or what I'm guessing it's referring to, the actual lug width or lug height or lug to lug, is 52.7. so big watch. So big watch, and let's see what it looks like on the wrist. My god, it looks like something out of Fallout, the game Fallout, where you're wearing that, is it the Pip Man or something like that? So yeah, big watch, but for the money, my god, you are getting a lot of watch for that money, especially with how tough these watches are. And they are a very popular watch, with it being out of stock as well. So if you are considering a Mudman, maybe just pop your email in there, and just, if they get back to you or they say it's in stock at that price, I've got to say, what a great price. So that's just some of the selections that I made. I mean, if you do see any of the watches on the H.Samuel website that you think's well worth pointing out, then pop it in the comment section below. But I hope this video was of some use to you, and if it was, then please give it a like. Always helps the channel. If you want to see more videos from the We Try Anything channel, click on that subscription button below. And thank you for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Goodbye.